that. Right. So I am going to go through a few things, some of which you might already be familiar with if you are someone who's curious and you've been exploring things, and after receiving all the details that were shared upon successful registration, you might have taken the time to go through the platforms. So just bear with those that might be new. And as well as, like I mentioned earlier, for those that might not be here, so they may need that level of detail. So I'm just going to go straight into it. So I am Truman Hadebe. I am going to be your program lead for this program. And to be more specific, today, we are only looking at CILT programs. So if you are part of this call, you are either doing the CILT, International Diploma in Logistics and Transport, or you might be on the advanced diploma level or any other program that is, within the CILT range. But I strongly believe in terms of this call, we should only have the diploma and the advanced diploma students. So with that said, in case you are new or you're still in the process, you haven't registered, I think, this part is going to be pretty much straightforward. So this is where you would go. So you'd go to apply here to send your online application, right? So I'm not going to dwell much on that. So basically, the process just requires you to enter your personal details, after which you'll be asked to attach some support documents to support your application for screening purposes, so that our registration team knows exactly who you are, but not only that, they also have enough documentation to screen your application and put you on the right program, or should I say recommend a relevant program based on your experience and prior education. All right. So with that said, like I said, I'm not going to spend much time here. I think this is all self-explanatory. What we also have for those that might be, yes, pursuing a full-on program qualification, but maybe there's a specific module that you would like to take, and this is not part of the curriculum. Maybe it's not part of the diploma program, the advanced diploma that you're doing, regardless of which program you're part of. So you may find that it would be useful for you to take on that short course. So the likes of the Six Sigma programs could be one of those programs, maybe anything in the shipping space, freight forwarding, that might be not part of the curriculum, or it could be anything really, any program that is of interest to you, whether it's in line with your career or it's just a new field that you want to explore. So that we do have such options, and the good thing is that we've got all other or should I say the same study options as we would have under the year-long to 3-year type of programs. So you are able to take on the e-learning or the online live classes. So, if you are already committed to a year-long program, so for a short course, you will be recommended for the e-learning so that it doesn't interfere with your studies for the year, right? So moving right along, so in terms of the platform now, I'm just going to go and share. So let me stop this part. I'm just going to go and share the e-learning platform, which I think is something very important for today's session. Thereafter, we can have a Q&A session with those that might have struggled maybe to navigate through the platform, or the specific questions that you might have. So this is basically how the platform looks like. But perhaps before I do the demo, I would like to just confirm a few things. So here on this call, I believe we've got majority of people are already registered students, but also there might be people, whether they are part of this call or they'll be watching a recording, that might be still in the process of finalizing their registrations due to maybe, delay and other funding options that they might be exploring. We do understand that it's beginning of the year, so some people may only finalize their registrations end of February, some end of March. So the good thing about this program is that there is no such thing as the end date for registration. Yes, we do recommend, every year that you start right from the beginning if you want to finish the program within the intended academic year. So if you want to finish the program and write all your exams by end of the year, November, you take your last exams for the year, then you know that you are done. But not only that, it also helps you if, let's say, for instance, in July, there's modules or a module that you'd like to rewrite. Maybe you failed that module, or it's a module that you were not really sure about whether to write the exam mid-year or end of the year. So it gives you time to decide and sort of spread your exams evenly throughout the year. Whereas if you start mid-year, then you don't have much options. So basically, again, any questions? I know maybe in the interest of time, I didn't do like a proper introductions in terms of, who else is part of this. So we've got our VC in Cape Town. The team is watching on the screen. So they will be able to also take some of the issues that you have, but I hope I'll be able to cover pretty much everything, failing which will then, take down all those questions that you might have, which I might not be able to address here, maybe in the interest of time, or it's something that is a little bit of a technical issue, then we'll get someone relevant or schedule a specific call for that. All right, I was told that there are people that have been struggling to log into the platform that I'm sharing, which is your e-learning platform, where you're going to access all the study material, basically anything and everything about the course, whether it's your class recordings, timetables, the syllabus, the course material for download. So it doesn't really matter what it is and which study option you're part of, whether you're on e-learning or online live classes, or you are, a student that has taken the classroom-based option, which I believe, because I haven't received any communication, I believe there isn't anyone who's going to be attending face-to-face classes because of the intake target related issues for each respective study center, or should I say city. So those that are in Cape Town, Midrand, Richards Bay, Durban, wherever you are really, if there is a support center in your city, and maybe for whatever reason you had wanted that option, you might have been told that there is no such option unless if it's like a group enrollment. So if you come from a particular company and there's like a minimum of 10 of you who are going to be joining the program, yes, they do make such an option available, but not for individual enrollments. So I just thought I should highlight that as well. But essentially, in terms of our agenda for today, we are going to be looking at one I've already mentioned in terms of the, the platform, but also in terms of the study options, we're going to explore the study options, and hopefully everyone by now does understand what each study option entails. So I'm going to start with so there's 3 study options. The first one would be the online live classes. So right now, we are having this Zoom call, or this session, the open day session. So even in terms of your class, the lecturers, your trainers would be also presenting the course using this very platform. So it's done via Zoom. And in terms of, the questions and the role plays that we sometimes have during these various programs, depending on the module and, the structure of that particular program. So sometimes we'll have breakout rooms where, if there's a topic that you need to discuss as a group, you will be told that maybe in groups of 3 or 4 go into a room, a virtual room right here. So we'll explain all of that once we get there, so that I don't confuse you. So today we are going to be basically exploring all these study options. So the online live would be the very first option, where you attend regular classes through this platform, the Zoom platform. And that particular option has all the study benefits. So yes, you'll attend the online live classes, which means that essentially you'll be able to interact with the professional trainers. You'll be able to ask questions, engage with other students, because we strongly believe that, in terms of the learning journey, the professional development journey, there's a lot that we can learn from each other as well. It's not just about one person delivering a particular content, sharing insights in terms of their, industry experience, but also from the other students in the program. You get to learn a lot because we all come from different industries, don't we? So that is the online live study option. Now, that option also gives you access by default to the e-learning platform, where you get to access the recorded sessions, the course material, revision support material. I can go on and on. Everything and anything that is part of the e-learning, it would also be there for those that are studying through the online live classes. Right now, in terms of the e-learning, so the other 2 options after the online live would be the e-learning plus revision sessions. So what that means essentially is that you will not attend the regular sessions. So whether it's Saturday classes or the evening sessions, but this year, actually going back to 2020, in terms of these programs, the CILT program specifically, and the other diplomas, we've always had the classes on Saturdays for a simple reason that the majority of the candidates or the professionals in the program full-time in terms of employment, so they are not able to attend weekdays. So whether that is evening or afternoon classes, so we do have those options, but again, back to what I said earlier, those options are only reserved for group enrollments. So if there's a company, currently there are companies that have taken this program, but instead of attending on Saturdays, they request, because they've got that leverage, they've got the numbers. So if they say to us, Supply Chain Academy, please come and deliver this program, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays every week. Sometimes it would be like a block release type of structure. So we do that. But if you are enrolling as an individual, so by default, you go straight onto the online live classes, or the Saturdays option if you are on the online live study option, right? So needless to say, if you are part of the e-learning, for the e-learning, whether it's e-learning plus live or strictly e-learning, you wouldn't have to worry about that because you are receiving all your support through the platform. You watch the recorded sessions. So there's no need for you, it's self-paced. So you get to, engage with the course at your own time and do all the necessary activities, whether it's the quiz or assignments and things like that, which I'm also going to be explaining shortly. So those three study options, online live and e-learning plus live revisions. So the e-learning plus live revisions, you only join the live class once there's revision sessions for the exams. So just before the exams, you get to be part of the live online classes. That's e-learning plus live. And then there's purely e-learning. So the e-learning only, excuse me, the e-learning only option would simply mean that you are receiving all your support through the e-learning. There is no option for live classes. However, for those that are on the self-funded option, if you at a later stage you feel that this option, the study option, is not what you thought it was, or maybe it's not helping you in terms of some of the issues that you want to be assisted with, you want to upgrade to a live option, by all means, you are able to do that. What you are not able to do is to downgrade from a live study option and downgrade to e-learning or e-learning live. So it always goes up. So you start from the bottom and then you upgrade as you see fit. But if you're okay, needless to say, then you would stay with whatever study option you're on. Right. So those are the study options, the three study options that I've highlighted. Now I'm going to do a quick demo, which is going to cover where you get to view the timetable, download it, and also the course material, your study guides, lecture notes in a form of presentation, slides presentation, and all of that. So I'm just going to go and click on preview. But perhaps before I do that, so this is the admin view. As you can see, so we've got here all the, so maybe let me just ask someone, can anyone just confirm if you can see the screen? Is it moving? Can you see all the modules?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So basically, this is the admin view, but your view as a student, this is what you would see coming up shortly. There you go. Right, so here, as you can see, so before you embark on the journey, your studies journey, you firstly need to know what is the syllabus. Some of you might have already done that, but how the platform is structured, it would not allow you to skip some parts of this structure and go to whatever you want, right? So it is structured in such a way that you need to move with the structure as configured in the back end. So here, when you say start session, so basically you'll be going through the syllabus just to know a bit more about what the syllabus entails, the modules, what is expected of you, and all of that in terms of the hours, etc. So to give you an idea, regardless of the study option, so in terms of the recommended study hours prior to your lessons, prior to the live lessons. So this would also go for the e-learning study option students. So every day you are recommended, at least at the very least, to spend an hour going through your material. right? So by Saturday, come your session, you need to have gone through the material. You already have questions. There's things that you don't understand. It's not a traditional, lecture type approach. So you need to come in class prepared, ask questions, engage, so that you are able to be fully prepared, not just for your exams, but even in terms of your professional development. You are able to apply some of the concepts, as and when you progress with the program. The sessions are very much practical, even in terms of the delivery. All the trainers behind the program, the facilitators, the lecturers, they all come with extensive industry experience in various fields, whether it's procurement, logistics, shipping, in the production space and manufacturing. So we've got a combination of supply chain professionals, supply chain specialists, as well as industrial engineers who are delivering these modules. So that is basically the time required from you in terms of the daily dedicated time per module. And I'm going to also touch on the sequence of the modules, but the platform would also explain that. So you would see already here we've got a 0 complete. So this is what you'd also see. It would give you the progress so that you are able to also track yourself and see how far you are with the program. So here, if you click here, you start the lesson, obviously the percentage will start changing. But important to note is also the timetable. There's the timetable. So once you've viewed the syllabus, then you're able to download the syllabus. You can also download the timetable. It's up to you if you want to view it within the platform every time as and when you need it. You can do that, but we always recommend that you download the timetable. When it comes to the timetable, if it happens that there's changes, we do announce those changes in class, but you'd also get notifications through your email to alert you that there's been some changes for whatever reason. But it doesn't happen quite often. As a matter of fact, we always try to make sure that once the timetable has been issued, we stick to that. But things do happen, like in any journey or any project. You are bound to have snags there and there, so you need to always keep reviewing things. So in essence, that would be the first part, the syllabus, the timetable. Once that is done, then you see there it says module 1, and your module 1 is supply chain management. So that is how the program is structured. So you'd say module 1 as supply chain management, but the module code is D02. So it does not go according to module code, it goes according to the module title, right? So after supply chain management, then you'd move on to the management in logistics and transport. Thereafter, it would be sourcing and procurement. Thereafter, it would be warehousing. And please do note that what you see here is what has been already published. So there's more other modules. And by the way, not just what has already been published, but also what is compulsory for this program. For the diploma program, some of you might have already been informed, you might have received this kind of information. So these programs are designed in such a way that, before you are accepted into a program, it's either you already have the experience, more than 5 years experience in the industry, or you've got a post-matric qualification, not less than a diploma level. So, which is why it doesn't beat about the bush. You're not going to see like 16 modules just for the diploma covering your management, communication type of modules, IT, economics, business management, and then supply chain maybe in your 3rd year. we don't have such programs. These are professional certified programs, so they're all accredited by the professional bodies in the supply chain space. So the CILT diploma, that's the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport in Europe, in the UK specifically, but they also have a footprint globally. So in terms of what they do, they are the ones that are behind the curriculum development. They do not set the exams, so the exams are set by the Supply Chain Academy. And in terms of the moderation process, the assessments would do the internal moderation assessments, and then they do the final moderation, and then give us the final results in terms of the exams. So they do not do any teaching. So the delivery of the lecturing, the teaching is done by the accredited institutions, who are then given the authority to deliver the programs. And what they do is just the final moderation, as well as issuing of the certificates upon successful completion of the program. Now, I know I might be moving too fast, but do feel free. I don't see any hands. I don't see any messages. Okay, I see there's a text from Steven. Will you be sharing the links to homepage with the students after the session? Please, I would access the recording for more information. The links, so I believe, Steven, you're talking about the recording, right? If you can just confirm. Or is he gone? I think he's left. I don't see him on the list. All right. Anyway, so if there was referring to the recording of this session, the link, yes, we are definitely going to be sharing the link with all those that have made it to this session and those that might have missed the session for whatever reason. So I'm just going to take a break just for a minute or two and allow you to ask questions so long before I proceed with the next part. Any questions, comments, confusion? Sorry, I actually realized that there are some people that have joined, but I cannot identify them. So there's iPhone and Galaxy. So I'm not sure if you can just rename yourself. If you can do that.
Hi, I'm Mercedes King. I've joined late.
All right.
But I can't rename my profile because it's not my profile that I'm watching from.
Okay. Oh, so I see the mic moving. Is Des? Is that you?
Yes, that's my husband, Desmond King. I'm Mercedes King, and I'm joining the program.
All right, great. Thank you. No, not a problem. So and then we've got Galaxy and iPhone. Okay, I think iPhone has disappeared. I see Galaxy A12. If you can just rename yourself, or let me know who you are, because I also see that this device doesn't have the mic, so I'm not sure if they're even able to hear or see the presentation. But anyway, moving right along, seeing that there's no questions, we're going to go straight into the next part, which is the, okay, so we've covered the timetables, the exams. Let me just expand a little bit more on the exams. So for the exams, what we have is there's 3 exam series or exam slots throughout the year. But of those 3, maybe let me start with the March. So for March is only for people that want to rewrite. So if there's modules that you are left with, maybe you're writing in November, there's a module that got left behind, you want to repeat it so that you can complete the program. So March is only for those people. that have, you know, modules that they want to rewrite. And then the ordinary exams, if you first time or you want to write a particular module or modules for the first time, the exams are structured in such a way that you are able to either, you know, delay all the exams until end of the year, which is something that we don't recommend, or you can spread them evenly. So in July, you can take the first 2 modules if you are on the diploma level, right? I'll come to the advanced diploma just now. So diploma level, these are the modules you can take in July, for instance. And again, this is based on the fact that in terms of the delivery, these are the modules that you would have covered by then. So you can then take those 2 exams, and then the remaining 2, you take them end of the year, right? But I must say, we've had instances whereby students would actually, you know, accelerate the program, you know, because there's that leverage of the e-learning, so they're able to access pretty much all the course material, including the previous year's recording. So every year there will be a new session. So if you had already joined through the e-learning, you would see that there is a recording already available, so that you don't wait until the start of the new classes in order for you to start with your course, right? So there is that option. Now, in terms of the other modules that I showed earlier, so remember I said these are the compulsory modules if you are at a diploma level, right? But if you're doing the advanced diploma, I'm going to also try and go there, but essentially you would do, depending on the application. So when you're accepted, based on your previous qualifications, post-matric, combined with the experience, the relevant experience in supply chain, whether you are in logistics, procurement, shipping, whatever, in the production space. So they will then tell you that, okay, so out of the maximum is 8 modules. So out of the 8 modules, if you're going to be doing all 8, or based on your qualification, maybe you might have a diploma in supply chain management, or, you know, in logistics, it could be in shipping or maritime, or anything industrial engineering is also considered as part of the qualifications, where you do get exemptions on some of the modules. So you'll be told that maybe you'll be doing all 8, or you'll be doing, you know, these 2, the first 2 modules, supply chain and management in logistics and transport, and then the advanced diploma modules. But I don't want to go into that as yet. I'm just going to finish here, and then we go to the advanced diploma part. So let me go back to the previous view, which is somewhere here. So let me just stop sharing and reshare for me to see this properly. Right. So this is where we were. Just gonna share my screen again. Now, this would be the additional, sorry, if someone can just confirm, can you see the screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great, thank you. Now, in terms of, I'm not sure why my screen is not moving. Okay, let's do this. Just refresh. So what I wanted to show you here is the additional modules that, in as much as there's those compulsory modules at a diploma level, the 4 modules, there is an option to take on the other modules, but these would be non-compulsory or optional, and they do come at an additional cost. if you decide to do that, we always recommend that you finish the compulsory modules first. Then once you are sure that, everything is okay, you've passed, which means that, you're going to get your certificate, then you can add on the other modules. Don't try and, add other additional modules in between before finishing with the compulsory modules. So they're almost like electives. So we don't recommend that option at all, but there is an option for you to take on, let's say, retail, logistics, production planning, if you want to. There's project management, there's international business, there's transport operations. I can go on and on and on, but this is also included in your timetable. You see all the modules there with their respective dates when those modules will be delivered. So there is such an option. If maybe that you're just curious if maybe, there's a specific module or modules that you would like to do that you did not see on the list of the compulsory modules that I shared earlier. But over and above that, I do know that as part of your registration process, this information gets shared in that process. So I know that most people are already familiar with that. But like I said, for the benefit of those that are new, so I'm going to be sharing as though you're seeing this for the first time. Or should I say explaining as though you are seeing it for the first time. So now let's move on to the advanced diploma. So before I share my screen, again, I would like to confirm if there's any questions, comments before we proceed. I see we only have 15 minutes left before the end of the session. Right. So silent. Okay, I thought I saw a hand. Okay, so let me go ahead and share the advanced diploma. So silence means everyone is good. We're all good so far, right? So let's proceed. Now, in terms of the advanced diploma, these are the modules as explained earlier. So depending on your registration coupled with, industry experience plus your education post-matric, you will then be told which modules you will be doing. So the maximum is 8, as I said. So these are all the 8 modules at the advanced diploma level. And I must also clarify this for the benefit of those that might be interested in progressing to this level. So if you are on this call, you're at a diploma level and you are thinking, maybe still contemplating about it, or you just want to know what's next. So this is basically the next level. Now, the good thing is, if you started with the CILT, diploma level, you won't have to do these modules once you finish them, needless to say. So for you next year or next time, if you move on to the advanced diploma level, the only modules that you would do would be the 5 modules that you see here, right? So now in terms of the 5 modules at the advanced diploma level, or should I say, sorry, I actually meant 4. So I said 8. So the other 4 is at a diploma level. The first 2 are compulsory, meaning that the maximum is 8. However, if, based on your experience and the post-matric qualification that you hold, you'll then be told that, maybe you're doing all 8, or you are doing the first 2, then, because these ones would be optional in that instance. And again, depending on your experience, etc. So some people would be doing maybe say supply chain management, management of logistics and transport, and then they skip these two, or they get exemptions for those modules, and then they do these. Some people would do all 8. So now in terms of the advanced diploma, the timetable would also, so the structure is the same. So the timetable is also available. It would be loaded, or it's already loaded. Let me try and go back. For some reason, once I start sharing the screen, the platform doesn't move. Okay, all right. No, let's go for the review. Let's see. Right, so here, okay. Oh, I see it's saying coming soon. So let me just explain this for the benefit of those that are already at the advanced diploma level. So if you look at the timetable, so do try and log in if you haven't, or if you already logged in, you can simply go to the timetable section or request that they send you the timetable. And what you're going to see is that immediately after this module, this is going to be somewhere in April, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll confirm that just now. So right after this module, then the advanced diploma classes will then start. So that's why it's saying coming soon there. So it's due to that, because before you get onto this level, before doing module 5, the organizational level planning in logistics and transport, you must have done that module first, as well as supply chain management. So in terms of the classes, again, if you are, whether you're on e-learning or online live classes, it doesn't really matter. You'll only be able to see the content. When I say the content, by the way, I'm talking about now the class recordings, right? And the live classes. Once this module is complete, the second module. Now, in terms of the syllabus and what have you, here, during this month, you'll be able to access your syllabus in terms of the course guides, etc. You'll be able to download those. And then immediately after that, you will then be able to see the complete timetable for the year, covering all 8 modules. And then you'll know when to start with the advanced level. So maybe in the interest of time, I'm just going to leave it at that. But once you've got the timetable, you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about. And then if you've got any further questions, you can reach out to us through email or through the Academy telephone number, which is +27 8705765777, right? And the email for all CILT related inquiries, issues, you use the CILT at supply slash, sorry, not slash, hyphen chain.academy. I've just sent the email in the chat. So you, by the way, if this is not your first time dealing with us, you should already have all these details. It's normally, you know, included on all the emails, in our inquiries, quotations, anything pertaining to the program, the course brochures. So you'd have all these details there. So these are the contact details. Now, before we close, I would also like to talk about, you know, now that all has been said, we're not at church, no one is preaching, but now that all has been said, You might be asking yourself, so how do I make success of my studies? You know, and perhaps even more than just success, how do I make my studies enjoyable? So what I'm going to say, based on my experience, based on what we've observed over the years, different type of students, looking at their journey and seeing their end results, I am of a strong belief that, you know, anything that you commit to, you do the necessary activities recommended, you put in the hours, you are bound to succeed in anything. If you put in the hours, you do all the recommended key activities required or expected of you in order to accomplish your goal or to get a good pass. In this instance, since we're talking about a course, you shouldn't have any issues. But more than anything, you need to be curious. You know, you need to make sure that if you've been told that prior to attending class or prior to, you know, watching, if you're on the e-learning study option, prior to watching that class recording, do take some time as recommended on a daily basis. And it's only a maximum of what, 5 to 6 days. We're not saying Monday to Sunday. Just some people, even within, you know, 5 days, you'll be done. Then come Saturday, you know, you, at the very least, you are ready, you finished, you know, 3, 4 chapters, and you've got questions already. There's things that you don't understand. So in that way, if you've engaged with the material, by the time the session is delivered or the lecture is delivered, you've got questions, you are able to understand things better because you've seen them in the book. Because what doesn't happen at the Supply Chain Academy, the lecturers, the trainers do not go through, you know, the material like page by page. They focus on the key things and give examples, practical examples, and then also respond to your questions. If there's concepts that you don't understand, there's things that, you know, you need a bit of explanation. So they will be able to do that. So that is the intention for the classes. It's not to go through the entire course material line by line, page by page, until the end. So you need to be engaged in that process and make sure that you do your part as well. So in the middle of the sessions or the modules, you would also have a quiz, which is going to help you gauge your understanding, the readiness when it comes to that module, if you've really understood the module. So it's not just about going through the material, attending classes, and then saying, okay, but how do I know if I've, you know, grasped all the necessary things that are required for this module? So you would have the quiz in between. And over and above the quiz, on a separate session, once we've started with the classes, we're also going to show you in terms of the final assessment. I'm not talking about the exam. So for those modules where there's assignments, so there's one assignment per module. So you would be shown in terms of how to submit the assignment using the platform. So we are going to have a separate session for that, in the interest of time and not to bombard you with a lot of information in one day. So essentially that brings us to the end of today's session. And in terms of what's next, before I take any questions, what's next is for you to make sure that you've got access to this platform. You start engaging with the material, download whatever you need to download, especially the timetable for those that are attending live classes. And if you are on e-learning, go straight to the material, download, you know, the syllabus, and then download the first module, start going through the material so that by the time come, you know, end of the month, which is February, at the very least, you're done with the first module, and then you are able to then, either watch the live class recording, or, if you're comfortable after engaging with the material, then you can take on the quiz that's available within that particular module. So we're all going to be starting with supply chain management. And for those that are on e-learning, you might have accelerated that process, maybe already on the management in logistics and transport. That's perfectly fine as well. So it's always good, and that's the kind of leverage that you have if you are on e-learning. But even for those that are taking on the live classes, there's nothing that prevents you to be ahead of the schedule. So you can also do the same if you do have the time and commitment to do so. All right, so I'm just gonna leave it at that, and I see we've got a hand finally. Hi, Jackie, you can unmute and shoot.
Hi, Truman. I have a question. So I'm on the e-learning platform. As you just mentioned, I have done the supply chain management. I've completed it 100%, but I'm at the platform, on the platform now as we speak. And I've got the first, obviously I've got the first module, I've completed 100%. Then you guys have given me another, not the module, but it's the same platform, but just with everything together now, module 1, 2, 3, and 4. Do I have to complete module 1 again to access module 2?
Okay, great. No, that's a good question. So I'm glad you asked that. So essentially what happened, everyone that had registered last year, so if you had registered in 2022 towards the end of the year or mid-year, that's what we did, because we wanted to make sure that people understand this platform first by giving you access to the first module, and it was a separate access that was given to only supply chain management, just to get a feel of it. So after you're done with that, you have to go to back to your class, the bigger, sorry, back to the diploma, the full-on diploma program, and then you can decide whether you go. But again, I think in terms of what you've just mentioned, Jake, I just realized something. So it wouldn't allow you to go to module 2 before completing module 1. So yes, you'll have to just sort of quickly go through module 1, just so that you are able to unlock module 2. So it will give you that option to progress to the next module. So obviously this time around, you wouldn't be doing it with an intention, or should I say, as though you're doing it for the first time. It would just be for the purposes of unlocking the next module. I'm not sure if that's clear.
That is understandable. Just to get clarification, do I have to complete the videos again, or can I just go through it, or because there's 3-hour sessions on the videos? So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a way for us to do that for you. So I've noted that down. So they will give you, on the settings, they would enable that part for you to just browse through, so that you are able to unlock without necessarily spending the same time that you spent on the module when you're doing it for the first time. So it would just be browsing through.
Okay, 100%. That's understandable. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. And that was a good question. So I'm sure it's not only Jackie. As far as I know, there are a lot of other people that might not be on this call, and I'm glad that we were able to get someone with that question, because it would help us now clarify that. So everyone who was given access to a module, and then at a later stage, you got another access to the entire program, whether it's a diploma or advanced diploma, that's exactly what you need to do. So once you've completed the first one, the first module, you'll then be able to, you know, go back to the main program, unlock, just browse through. But as I said, you'll have to give us an indication so that, you know, the tech team would enable that, you know, that functionality for you to just browse through so that you're able to access the next module. All right. So, and again, having said that, what we're also going to do for that first module, once you've completed the module, you've completed the quiz, you're then going to get a certificate of completion just for that module, the supply chain management module. So it's just a complimentary thing that we do for all the students who are new in the program. Right. Any other questions, comments before we close?
Truman, sorry again, it's Jackie again. The assignments, I know you mentioned now during the course that there's going to be a second session for the assignments that is going to take place. When will that be, or you guys don't know and will maybe just send us email again stating when it is and when we can access?
Yes, that's exactly what we're going to do. So there will be a notification. You'll be sent an email just like what we did for this open session, or should I say the open day session. So for that as well, we're going to invite all the students through the platform for that session specifically. And what we're going to do, and I think this is self-explanatory, but it's not going to be only for the live option. So if you're on e-learning, what we're going to do on that specific day, it would be something that will be done. Normally it's done after the live class, so that, you know, everyone is able to get the same information and be able to ask questions. So we are going to do that, and it would also be recorded. So if you happen to message, you'll be able to watch the recording, which will show you, you know, the live demonstration of how to actually access the assignment and also upload. I think the accessing part is easy. It's going to be the same as the course guides and the course recordings, but you would see under each module. Let me see if I can open this one. No, I don't think so. But under each module, it will have final assessment. So the final assessment, that will be your assignment, or it could be in a form of a quiz. Okay. Sorry, let me stop this. It's not doing what I wanted to do. What's happening here? Okay. Right. Sorry about that. So basically, that's the end. I'm not sure if there's any further questions, comments.
Hi, Truman. It's Siobhan.
Yes, Siobhan.
I'm wondering if you can maybe guide me. So I did get an email to say redeem copy of your course, but when I click on it, it says this confirmation link has expired. I obviously was one of those who registered like in October last year. And then I received another link last week, Thursday. But as soon as I click on it, it says the confirmation link has expired.
Has expired. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No,
So though I registered in October, I did say that I'm only starting in Jan. But
I see.
Yes.
Also, they might have sent you the link at that time, right? Do you know when you received the link?
So I received
last year?
Yeah, it was last year, October, where I managed to get onto the Google Classroom. But now, like I'm saying, when I go onto, there was an email that I received on Thursday to say redeem a copy of your course. But when I click on it, it says your link has expired. So like everything that you were presenting today, I don't have access, so I'm not seeing that.
Okay. No, well noted. So I think the colleagues have also noted that, so we'll sort it
Okay.
out during the week. Yeah, it might just be an issue of, you know, a link that was issued and you did not redeem it on time.
Okay,
Yeah, so we'll sort that out. Thank you.
no problem. Thank you so much.
All right. So that was Siobhan. Okay. Right. Anyone else with technical issues? I don't want to mention names, guys, but there is within this platform, I can go to a page that's going to show me all the students registered for this course. And if you access the platform and started doing something, viewing, you know, the course content and things like that. So we do have such visibility. And we've seen that most people haven't actually taken the time to log in. So you might also end up in a situation like Siobhan, where you know, if you go and try and access the platform, it would say that the link has expired. So you just need to make sure that you do click on the link, redeem the course, and then go through, you know, all the things that I was presenting, just to make sure that your profile is active. Otherwise, you'll have to send us an email and request that we resend the link.
Sorry, should I send an email or has it been noted?
It's been noted, but maybe to be safe or just
Okay,
to expedite the process, you can just drop an email. That's also fine.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So I don't see any hands. No
Hi.
messages.
Sorry,
Oh, hi. Yes.
I haven't received my link, but I will email that person I usually deal with, and I'll just ask where is my link, but I haven't received a link.
Okay. So if you don't mind me asking, is that Mercedes, right?
Yes.
Okay. So didn't you only register this year or maybe
Yes,
recently?
I did. The 25th of January, I registered.
Okay. So yeah, probably, yeah, you should have received it by now, but again, just drop an email. They will send it to you. Yeah.
I will. Thank you so much.
All right. Absolute pleasure. So any other questions? Going once? We've already exceeded the allocated time by 10 minutes, but we still have like 5 minutes to spare if you've got any questions. And for those that are already covered, do feel free to, you can be excused. Let me just put it that way. And thank you so much for your time. And basically, yeah, this is where we get to say, welcome on board and enjoy the journey. Just make sure that you do commit to the course. Some of you, I know you've received bursaries. Your employers are paying for this program, so do take it serious. I do know we've seen it in the past where students that are funding the program out of their own pocket tend to be more dedicated than those that are receiving bursaries. Don't ask me why, and maybe some of you already know the answer to that question. So please do take your studies seriously, and yeah, and just do all the necessary things that will be recommended or have already been recommended to you to make sure that your study journey is a success. All right. Thank you so much. Cheers, everyone. You have a great weekend ahead.
Thank you very much. Same to you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.